This is the tallest existing flagpole within the area surrounding the Demilitarized Zone or DMZ. According to former tailor of the national flag here, Mr. Nguyen Dak Lang, the higher the pole, the bigger the flag. It initially took him 7 days to piece together 10 sheets of fabric. Later on, as the soldier turned tailor got used to his new work, he could finish the job in just 2 days. Nguyen Dak Lang, veteran tailor of the national flag Hien Luong Bridge, Quang Tri Province, said he remembered that the fabric threads would get everywhere and made his face red. He also had to tailor backup flags to ensure that a national flag would always be available to fly over the post. On many occasions, days of fierce battle occupied the post where Lang was based. That, however, never interrupted him in his work. Lang said they built a shelter tunnel to protect the flags and where he could safely sit and continue tailoring even amidst the gunfire. This is the bicycle that Lang used to transport new tailoring materials during those turbulent times. Many of the bicycle parts Lang fashioned from bullet casings and mine scraps. He always tried to improve the bike because it meant that he could complete his job. The period from 1956 to 1967 saw more than 260 national flags, one after another, fly over the flagpole in the DMZ. Despite the waves of bullets and bomb attacks, the unwavering needle and watchful eye of men like Mr. Lang ensured that the national flag at Hien Luong Bridge always flew high and proud. The traditional Christmas belen is one of the showcases of the season and can be found in almost every Filipino home. The belen is an artist's 3D colorful rendition of the nativity scene and is a fixture of the Philippine Christmas season. It symbolizes hope and the joy of the season. Every year, a festival and display of large, almost life-sized belens named Belenismo is held in Tarlac City, around 130 kilometers north of Manila. Many are displayed with colorful lights. Some are created using recycled materials. The festival draws many viewers from near or far. Driverless cars could be a reality on Singapore's roads in 10 to 15 years. This comes as the country seeks to create a long-term sustainable transport system to address its growing land and manpower constraints. And the Transport Ministry says it's well past the halfway mark in adapting such cars for public use. Industry experts say driverless vehicles could be a common sight by 2030. But according to the Transport Ministry, such vehicles could be plying Singapore's roads much sooner.
My own gut sense is it's gone very fast, very far. Not all the gaps and problems have been dealt with yet, but we are not at the beginning stages. We are I would say we're well past the halfway mark in terms of maturity of the technology to be ready for mass and public deployment on the road.
The ministry was presenting its roadmap for the future of Singapore's transport system a year after a committee was formed to chart the direction for driverless vehicles.
We look at the land constraints we have, we look at the manpower constraints we have. We know that we've got in the longer term to find a more sustainable transport solution. And we think that self-driving technology opens up a whole world of new opportunities. And so we've got very specific mobility and transportation concepts in mind that we want to trial in Singapore because we believe that these can be applied in the context of Singapore's transportation system in the longer term.
These concepts also hope to reduce road congestion, among other things. There are 4 main concepts. First, using driverless vehicles to complement buses and trains. Second, providing on-demand transport services with the help of smartphone or web apps. And third, transporting sea goods and cargo, and lastly, supporting utility services like road sweepers. To this end, the ministry also inked deals to further develop the technology. The first MOU is the PSA Singapore to develop technology to transport cargo. The second is the Sentosa Development Corporation and the ST Engineering to trial self-driving shuttle services across Sentosa. Trials for driverless vehicles are also in the works in places like Gardens by the Bay, One North and Sentosa. The Sentosa trial will take place in January this year. The public will be able to ride these shuttles after 2018. Ultimately, the ministry says these measures are part of the overall vision to develop self-driving towns of the future. MRT trains will continue to be the main mode of transport for those travelling longer distances, and almost all future rail lines will be fully driverless. Larger vehicles will travel underground, freeing up more space on the surface. There will also be room for loading and unloading of goods. Closer to ground, residents can use driverless feeder buses. This also gives operators the flexibility to deploy more buses despite a shortage of manpower. At a ground level, going driverless will result in more green spaces instead of car parks. Smaller vehicles can also pick up or drop off residents right in front of HDB blocks, making it easier and safer for the elderly and persons with disabilities to get home. But despite the benefits, some say driverless vehicles, like taxis for example, might eventually cost some drivers their jobs. But the ministry says the government will continue to help workers.
If you think back to 30, 40 years ago when there was no automation and a lot of it was manual labor, automation came about, robotics came about in many of the factories. What happened? The government put in a lot of resources to reskill, to retool all the workers so that they had higher value-added jobs, better paying jobs, jobs in other sectors which were growing. That must be the way that we continue to stay ahead in the global competition.
More trials for driverless vehicles are expected in the coming months. Brunei's Minister of Culture, Youth and Sports has lauded the diverse uses of Brunei's woven cloth, stating that it shows the enterprise's potential and when properly and systematically managed will assure profitable returns. The minister was speaking at the launch of the Wastra Borneo exhibition themed Colourful Borneo Heritage recently. It showcased Borneo's textile development from basic materials such as tree bark to gold and silver thread woven fabrics. The minister urged all Brunei woven cloth entrepreneurs to come forward and make new developments so that their creations do not become static but continue to expand in line with the changes in time. He also stressed the need to be creative and to produce a high-quality product that can penetrate overseas markets. This covers not only diverse designs and colors, but also possess high-quality production. 144 materials comprising head decorations, woven cloth of various designs, including textile making techniques from the collections of Borneo Island museums, were showcased in the exhibition. It was held in conjunction with the Golden Jubilee celebration of the establishment of the Brunei Museums Department. Demonstrations of cloth weaving from 3 Brunei communities, the Brunei Malays as well as the Murut and Iban ethnic groups, took place. Also exhibited were the designs of Awang Abdul Hafiz bin Haji Hasli, a graduate from the Faculty of Arts and Creative Technology, University Brunei Darussalam, who showcased new motifs inspired by traditional Brunei woven cloth motifs. The exhibition is open to the public until the 31st of January. Applying modern technology to cattle breeding is a trend followed by localities such as Hanoi, Ho Chi Minh City and Nghệ An Province. Tu Yen Kwan is also a province that is strong in cattle breeding, with 6 concentrated ranches, each of which has about 200 to 2,000 cows. By applying Israeli technology, both milk yields and quality in this area have improved significantly. More than 1,000 milk cows have been concentrated in a modern ranch using Israeli technology in Sunduang district, Tu Yen Kwan province. These cows are all imported from Israel, the Netherlands and Australia, so in order to help them adapt more easily to Vietnam's climate and give the highest milk yields, modern cooling technologies are widely applied in this ranch. Vu Van Thuyen, veterinarian VN Future Milk Company Limited, said first it's the fan system. This fan system is imported from the US. With its 6-meter-long arm, you can always feel cool standing anywhere in the stall. Second is the misting system, which provides mists automatically when the temperature in the stall exceeds 22 degrees Celsius. Lai Truong Di Zung, a veterinarian, said each cow has its own number and microchip. Each time a disease or health problem is detected in a cow, it will be sent directly to the vets. Diet is also an important factor to increase milk yields. Every day at this ranch, the cows are fed a ration of mixed cattle feed, including grass, fresh corn, fresh oats, and self-produced bran. The average productivity across the herd is 30 liters per cow per day.
And we've seen a very strong increase in the milk market here. In the early days, we used to sell milk for around 8,000 dong per litre, and now we sell milk for more than 14,000 dong per litre. So our production's gone up. We've learned a lot about managing the dairy in Vietnam. We have very good production that we're very proud of, very high production. And we've got, very good results because the market at the moment is reasonably good for us.
These cattle breeding projects with Israeli technology and investment from Australia have indeed helped raise the productivity of the ranch, thus increasing income from the farmers in Tu Yen Kwan province.